There was a time when waiting was simply part of being alive. You waited for letters, for photos to be developed, for your favorite show to air, for a phone call, or an answer. And somewhere inside all that waiting, something was happening. Patience wasn't a personality trait. It was a muscle, part of human experience that life exercised every day. Today, almost nothing asks us to wait. Amazon delivers tomorrow. Food arrives before we're truly hungry. Movies begin the second we think of them. Even questions don't require wondering anymore. A thought enters your head, and within seconds, an AI hands you the answer. Humanity spent thousands of years trying to eliminate friction. We succeeded, but I don't think we ever stopped to ask what that friction was doing for us. Maybe waiting wasn't just an inconvenience. Maybe it was how we learned to be human. Because waiting creates space, and space creates thought. When you had to wait, your mind wandered. You imagined, you reflected, you answered questions that didn't have immediate answers. Boredom wasn't empty, it was fertile. Some of the greatest ideas in history probably arrived while someone was waiting for a train, waiting for rain, or waiting for nothing in particular. We've forgotten that anticipation was always part of the reward. We counted the days until Christmas. We planned vacations for an entire year. We waited for a favorite band's new album. We dreamed about what was coming next. The waiting itself became part of the experience. Today, we have optimized anticipation out of experience in our existence. We watch movies immediately. We listen to the song instantly, track the package all the way to the front door. We replaced anticipation with immediate gratification. And somewhere along the way, we replaced boredom with constant stimulation. The second there is silence, we reach for our phones. Standing in a line, scroll. At a stoplight, check notifications. Commercial break, open another app. There is almost no moment left where the mind is allowed to simply exist. And maybe that's why boredom has quietly disappeared. People aren't bored anymore. They're stressed, overwhelmed, distracted, anxious. We don't process events anymore. We consume them. The modern news cycle doesn't even last a day. Sometimes it lasts about 6 hours. One moment the entire world is asking and talking about something, but by evening, it's already forgotten. Replaced by the next emergency, the next outrage, the next distraction. artificial intelligence may be the ultimate expression of this. A question appears, and an answer arrives instantly. And that's an extraordinary achievement, don't get me wrong. But I wonder if there was value in not knowing, in carrying a question around, for a little while at least, and arguing, maybe with your friends about it, and opening 3 books to find out, and being confused, and being wrong, and slowly building understanding, because sometimes the answer isn't the point. Sometimes the search is. Relationships seem to be kind of moving in the same way. The old rhythm of getting to know someone, the slow unfolding of trust, anticipation, the uncertainty has been compressed into something transactional. Swipe, match, message, move on, or delete, whatever it is. Children are growing up inside of this acceleration. They don't remember a world where answers weren't totally immediate. Knowledge itself used to require a journey. Now, it often feels like download. Technology has solved extraordinary problems. Like I said, don't get me wrong. But every solution quietly changes the person using it. And I wonder if we've accidentally removed the practice of uncertainty. We used to invest years in a business, a marriage, a craft, a skill, without guarantees. Waiting taught us that not everything important arrives immediately. Most things worth having don't, like wisdom, mastery, trust, character. None of them can be overnight shipped. Anxiety is often described as the fear that something bad will happen. But maybe another form of anxiety comes from the opposite. The expectation that something should already have been happening. The text should have already been here. The promotion should have happened. The package should already be delivered. The answer should already exist. Maybe anxiety isn't simply the fear that something bad will happen. Maybe it's the feeling that something should have happened already. The world has quietly trained us to expect immediate resolution. So when life operates at its natural, slow, uncertain, unexpected speed, it feels like something is wrong. But maybe nothing is wrong. Maybe reality is simply operating at the speed it always did, and we are the ones who sped it up. Maybe we've mistaken convenience for progress. Because there are things that can only exist on the other side of waiting. Wonder, depth, reflection. A tree does not become old overnight. A musician doesn't become great overnight. And maybe people don't either. Maybe that's why so many people are quietly returning to slower things, like gardening, cooking, reading, physical books, learning instruments, long walks, long conversations, Maybe they aren't rejecting technology, no. Maybe they're trying to remember what it felt like to wait, to let their minds wander, to allow them to exist. Perhaps the most radical thing a person can do anymore, if you think about it, is nothing. Sit quietly. Take long road home, Learn a skill that takes years. Leave the message unanswered for a little while. Let the question remain a question. Because patience was never about getting through the waiting. The waiting was the thing that was shaping us all along. And if that's true, then maybe the problem isn't that we've become impatient. Maybe we've built a world where nothing can wait. And in doing so, we've quietly lost the very thing that made us wait and made it worthwhile. See you tomorrow, guys.